Shalom. This is Mark with the Cleveland GMS branch. I want to start off by, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Shalom to everybody tuning in, listening, and learning, getting this edification from several brothers that's doing this ministry from the four corners of the earth. And just getting right into it, it's time to seek the Lord, and if you don't seek the Lord, you're going to get left behind. You're either going to get with it or you're going to die, it's like you're either going to get with this truth or you're going to get left behind, speaking to you Israelites. But, to get right to it, this book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 24. I'll start at verse 20. It says, wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets, right? And what the Lord told us to do, when it comes to, this truth. This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse 23. It says, and the Lord said unto the servant, I started verse 22, and the servant said, Lord, it is done, and thou hast commanded, as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go into the highways and edges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. Right? So, the Lord wants us to go on the highways, and byways, the chief place of concourse, where you got everybody, basically. And he wants us to teach and bring them into the fold, in the form of fishing for the elect, right? Not in the form of men's ears. This is a sincere cry out, to sincerely warn people. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 1. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and speak unto the house of Israel. Right? So we're supposed to read these scriptures, and teach, and compel to the marriage, and edify the body. It says, so I'll open my mouth, and he caused me to eat the roll, and he said unto me, son of man, cause thy bed to eat. Let me see. I'm going to go down to verse 7. It says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Right? So this is a stiff-necked and rebellious people, So you can't just go in the hood, and expect to pull, fruit out of the projects. You can't just go where all the so-called narcos is and think you gonna get some Northern Kingdom fruit. You can't just go, anywhere. You gotta go to the chief place of concourse, the highways and byways. The Lord is he's gonna do the pulling in. We just gotta listen to what he said, and he told us to go on the highways and byways. But Jake still don't listen. He's stiff-necked and rebellious. Let's go back to that Proverbs chapter 1. Verse 21. This is she crieth. Verse 20 again. Wisdom crieth, she uttereth voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. Let me read that in the NIV. It says, on top of the wall, she cries out at the city gate. She make her speech, right? So where everybody is, that's the city gate. That's the open entrance to the whole city. Everybody gotta go to the gate. It says, she cried from the chief place of concourse, and the openings of the gates in the city. She uttereth her words, saying, "How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?" Right, that's what we saying. We saying this scripture right here. Let's look at James. Not James. Joel 2 verse 10. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Bear with me for a second. It's the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." That's what we saying at the chief place of concourse. On a Saturday or a Sunday. Saturdays, like Apostle Har said, it's when everybody is pretty much off work. Or it ain't, some brothers. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it will destroy you, even with a sore destruction." And that's what we're saying. We giving a warning. It's going to destroy you with a sore destruction. This ain't your rest. You can't rest here, take the MOTB here, and think everything's going to be okay. Because at the end of this is all, the end all be all, Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be what? Destruction. This is the book of Proverbs. I'm sorry. No, let's go to Ecclesiastes. Chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right, so remember the Lord in your youth. Right? Before the beginning of the sorrows, Jacob's trouble, and the third world's woe, and the MOTB camps. I'm not gonna say FEM camps, FEMA. Before all of those days, you gotta remember the Lord. But the Lord is gonna place His Spirit on His elect, and they're gonna understand this truth. Going back to Proverbs, but to close out. Proverbs 1 and verse 23. Turn you at my reproof, and I will pour out my spirit unto you. Right? Because once you start taking rebuke and chastisement and affliction for the Lord's sake, the Lord reveal His Spirit unto you, man. It says, I will make known my words unto you. Right? So you can start to learn and understand and be gifted with wisdom. It says, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. Like we read in Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. So this is a stiff-necked and rebellious nation. It's the nation of Israel. It says, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. And that's why we read that Ecclesiastes 12:1, because you got to remember the Lord before these calamities come, before these, judgments and plagues come upon the earth, man. In a country or a city near you, man. You have to remember the Lord, man. Before the time of judgment, not after or while the time of judgment is present. But Lord, on the side of found what y'all about Hashem Yahweh Shai, forgive me the spirit of the lesson. So next time I say Shalom, I'm calling Shalom.